Y'all, it is so gloomy outside. It's definitely gonna pour down soon. But I'm excited to start this video. I mean, I should have started it like a while ago, but we're not gonna talk about it. Today, as you can tell by the title, I am talking about the Wheel of Time universe. Now listen, I watched the Wheel of Time after season 1, like all the episodes were out, maybe like a few months after season 1 was wrapped up. And I actually really enjoyed it. And then I waited a year, watched season 2, and I kept up with season 2. When I finished that season 2 finale, I was just like, there's no way I have to wait a year or two for the next season. I was like, okay, maybe. And I was like trying to get Wheel of Time content. So like I was watching reaction videos and of the episodes and stuff like that. Certain videos I had to stay away from because they were talking about the books and they didn't want to spoil the books. I never originally planned on reading the books, but after the season 2 finale, I was just like, I want more. So I was like, okay, why don't I just read the books so far that they have covered? So this is a little dusty because I haven't read this in a week or two, but I got The Eye of the World. And I know some people are probably looking at this and they're just like, what in the abomination? Why didn't you get the original covers from the 1990s? I know some people have like grew up, the books are like 30 years old. They grew up with the original covers, but I personally favor the TV show covers over the OG covers. Yeah, I just like it better. Like, what can I say? And then also I bought The Great Hunt as well because I was just like, most likely when I finish The Eye of the World, I'm gonna want The Great Hunt. So I just went ahead and bought it. And I really like this cover. Like, I'm not gonna lie. This, for a TV show cover, is pretty good. They did a pretty good job with this one, I will say. But currently, I am on page 564, or at least I think. I have been following along with the audiobook more than physically reading it. I've been going back and forth, but you know, the audiobook with Rosamund Pike, her narration of the audiobooks is so good. She plays Moraine in the show, and she does such a good job with the audiobooks. And she tries to sound like the characters in the show as well. So she changes up her voice with the characters as they're different. And she does a good job sounding like a couple of the characters. Like, it's actually pretty good. But so far, so good with this book. It has been very adventurous. I knew I would start to like it more once they left the Two Rivers, and I was correct. But the journey has also been good and eventful, yet a little slow. So I think with the chapter I'm in now, I do kind of feel it slowing a bit. The chapter before was very like interesting and we're on a rescue mission. But this chapter, I think I was just kind of like, eh. And even with the show, when it comes to like Rand and Matt, those two in season 1, when they were on their little separate journey, I was just like, y'all two are the most boring out of everyone else on their separate journey. So that's where I'm at with Rand and Matt. And also with watching season 2 and like the season 2 finale, it's helping me get through book Matt as well, because Matt irritated me in season 1. And so knowing how he ends up at the end of season 2, I'm just like, okay, I can get through Matt on here. All right, editing Layla on the tablet here just to say I am so glad I watched the show first, because finding out who the Dragon Reborn was like such a shock, and I was so excited and like shook. It was like a plot twist. And reading the book, it's obvious who the Dragon Reborn is. And it's also really interesting being a show watcher then reading the books first versus reading the books then watching the show, because a lot of people who read the books first really do not like the show, and I love the show. Like, it's so good. So it's just interesting seeing so many people not like it versus me. The show is what got me into the books. So it's just very interesting. And yeah, I'm glad I watched the show first, because finding out that little Dragon Reborn plot twist was crazy, and I wouldn't have experienced that if I read the books first. And I don't know if I'm going to directly hop into The Great Hunt when I'm done with The Eye of the World. Who knows? I might, because I feel like this is going to leave off with a bang, and then I'm going to feel obligated to pick up The Great Hunt. I think I'm gonna stop after The Great Hunt though, because people have said that it's iffy with going along with book 3. And then also, if I do buy book 3, I want the matching TV show cover, so I'm probably gonna have to wait till season 3. But I do not want like anything in the show spoiled for myself, so my plan is to read the books after each season. That's why I was just like, okay, I can get a little more Wheel of Time in between seasons, because I do not want the show spoiled. I don't. But that's just where I'm at now, catching y'all up. As for my favorite characters, do I really have favorite characters? Not really, because I like I like most of them. I will say, if I were to read the book series first, so far I probably wouldn't have really cared that much for Egwene, but because I have watched the show, I really enjoy her character. But Rand, I really like Rand's character in the book. I found him a little relatable in the beginning too, when they were in the Two Rivers, because he's just kind of like a little awkward, socially awkward and shy, and like just such a nice boy. So like, I really like his character in the beginning, and I'm excited when to get to the part where he finally realizes he's the Dragon Reborn. Yeah, I've been talking enough, and I also really just like that the books are so heavily like on regeneration and like the whole Wheel of Time. I kind of want some Wheel of Time merch. Okay, hi. It is, I'll put the date on the screen because I absolutely do not remember what today is, but I have finished The Eye of the World. Finally, it took like a month to finish this book, but I did it. So, holding up my copy of The Eye of the World, one thing I regret is not annotating it. I wished I annotated it. I just like hit my tooth, but I wished I annotated it from the start. I really did, because there was like quotes in here that I enjoy, and I'm just like, let's be for real, I'm not gonna reread this for a while. And so it's just like, I'm gonna have to wait till it comes back around, till the wheel turns back around to like annotate this. I will say though, I only have 2 tabs, one at the bottom, which was just so I could know. It was when Rand first met Min, and she was like saying, okay, I got interrupted and I had to run in here. So, what was I saying? Right. I did a tab when I was reading this where Rand first met Min, because she was like saying what she saw and like prophecies, and I didn't know if it was like gonna come to pass in this book or the next. So like, just so I could go back to where he met her and like see, oh, did this happen yet? Did that? And like remember the clues, I tabbed it. And then, oh my God, I'm upset because like I messed up my annotating. I started off with like a regular highlighter, hated it, and then I moved into my erasable. But like, it was just the part on the chapter called The Blight, because I also love that the chapters have names. This was a book published in 1990, so that was still popping back then. And I love the fact that the chapters have names. But it's in chapter 48 called The Blight. And it was like that little moment with Nynaeve and Lan, like, love it. Love it. I love fantasy or the side plot of romance. And I will say, that romance is way better than Rand and Egwene. Like, when I tell y'all, watching the show, never cared for Rand and Egwene. I did in season 2, like, no spoilers or nothing, but like season 2 when Egwene was going through all that stuff, like, I cared then. I cared then. But season 1 did not care for their little romance. Eye of the World, didn't care. I don't feel anything. But Lan and Nynaeve, yeah, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. So yeah, I did annotate that, but like there was just like quotes and stuff that I really liked that I was like, dang, I should have annotated it. Overall, I rate this 4 stars. This was good. And I think what made it more enjoyable was the fact that I watched the show already. So like the names, and I didn't have to think so hard about what characters looked like. It just made it easier hopping into this. Also, I did do the audiobook as well. So the last 4 chapters I read on my own. which I'm happy I did read on my own, but the audiobook was also good. I read the audiobook that was narrated by Rosamund Pike, which plays Moraine in the show, and she did a great job. Like, she did a great job, and she helped me get through this. I wouldn't have finished this book today if it wasn't for the audiobook. So I'm so happy about that. But yeah, 4 stars. This was good. So much was changed from the book to the show, especially the ending. Like, so much was different. I was just like, whoa, this is not like how it happened in the show. And I was like, okay, I understand why some people may have been upset, because I mean, this book has been out for like decades at this point. So them switching it up, I mean, of course people are going to be upset, and this is like the first adaptation. But I enjoyed this, and I honestly like when adaptations kind of differ from the books, though, because then you get a new story with the same characters you like, and it's just more interesting. So yeah, but the book was good. There was some parts that I felt like could have been shorter. It was very, like, at some point slow, but it was still good. And I'm excited to see some character development. Really love Rand. Like, I like his character, like, so much more reading the books. Not saying that I didn't like him before, because I definitely did, but, like, I love his character in the book as well. Like, he's much more, I don't know, you just, like, you just feel closer to his character reading the book versus, you know, the show. All right, editing Layla on the iPad here. I also think that the author did a very good job at making what the characters felt realistic, because in other books characters like be so brave, all of that, but in real life you would be scared as heck, like Rand was. And I think he did a good job of showing us how scared he was basically the whole book. But yeah, I'm excited to hop into The Great Hunt. I don't know when I'm gonna read The Great Hunt, and I like this cover so much. I understand some people don't, and they're used to the old covers, but like, this is a good TV show cover, if I do say so myself. I'm thinking about doing a reading vlog for The Great Hunt. Y'all let me know if y'all want to see that, because this wasn't, I was planning on this kind of being a reading vlog, but that ended up not being so. But if y'all want like an actual reading vlog for The Great Hunt, I will do it. Yeah, I overall really enjoyed this book. I can't believe I finally finished it. I'm going to write a review in my book journal. Anything else I have to say? I enjoyed the maps, but I also like that in the table of contents, like, it tells you where all the maps are. But yeah, I really like the table of contents as well. Like, it's just like that older tiny reading. And just like, I also love the chapter starters, like, and how different they are. Like, I love these, and it's different every chapter. Love that so much. But anything else? Oh, I will say, I don't know if I said this before, Nynaeve, like, if I didn't watch the show, her character would just really make me upset. Like, just reading this first, I would not like Nynaeve, because Nynaeve was just so, like, she just has anger issues, and like, that's annoying. But since I've watched the show, I've already loved her character, so reading the books, it's just like, girl, okay, this is just her character. Hopefully she, like, throughout the series, show and books, like, her anger issues and stuff, like, she's just more logical, less emotional. Like, the battle scenes, epic. I can't wait for Mat's character development, because he is not likable in this book. He can be a little funny, maybe in the beginning, but like, Mat was kind of annoying in season 1 and in this first book. So I'm excited for his character development, because that season 2 finale made me like him a lot more. And also in the show, because you know his character, like, the actors get swapped, I like his character in season 2 better than in season 1. Like, the actor just really, like, switched it up a little bit and made him more funny, more likable. Love that. But the audiobook, y'all, like, if you haven't read The Eye of the World and you're just like, ooh, the book is too thick, because it is thick. It's like almost 800 pages, close to. And it took me like a little while to read this. But the audiobook is good, by Rosamund Pike. Like, y'all should try it out. And yeah, I know some people are probably judging me because I have the TV show cover, but it is what it is. I like it. Next up is The Great Hunt. And also, I don't know if I want to read this like immediately. I kind of do. But like once I finish this, I have to wait till season 3 for the show. And I need more Wheel of Time content to hold me over until season 3. So I might wait a little bit to read this so that I at least have a little more Wheel of Time to like explore before I have to wait until season 3. So yeah. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Goodbye.